Hello and welcome back to the Creativity Cabinet. I'm not a big Valentine's Day person, but I saw a lot of really cool Valentine's Day stuff at the Dollar Tree. And so I decided to do a series of love-inspired DIYs with some of these wonderful Dollar Tree products. And you know, these can be good for Valentine's Day, but they could also be good for all year round because, like Jerry Ann Henson says, love is just something for all the year round. So, let's get to making art. I started with a long wooden black Thankful and Grateful plaque from the Dollar Tree. I painted it black with Waverly chalk paint, only I left the little leaves on each end because I liked those. But I just covered up where it said Thankful and Grateful using the Waverly chalk paint. Then I used a brush-tipped glass marker from the Dollar Tree in white, and I used that to do the hand lettering of the phrase from the song, "Surround Me with Your Boundless Love." Then I added some greenery to the top. Here you see me kind of fiddling around deciding what I want to do. But what I eventually settled on was a couple of sprigs of lamb's ear that I got from Walmart for $2. And here you see me attaching it with some hot glue. Then I put on some cute little white flowers that I got from Dollar Tree, and again putting them on either side of the lamb's ear and attaching it with hot glue. I put some more hot glue over the top just to make sure that it stayed really well. So you see me right here, I'm attaching them with the hot glue. I'm using the end of the glue gun there to kind of press things down, and then adding some more hot glue over the top to make them stay. You can see that I had a little trouble with one of them over there on the right, but I eventually got it to stay. Then I added a layer of eucalyptus, which I also got at Walmart, and I just put that over the greenery of the white flowers, and I pressed it down into the hot glue and then added a lot more hot glue over the top to make it stay. At that point I felt like I had enough greenery, so I decided I would make a bow out of this nice black and white checked ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree. So I did kind of the simple Jerry Ann tutorial thing. I wrapped it around my hand several times, and then I cut another piece of ribbon and tied it in the middle, and that made just kind of a simple bow with several different little loops on there. And I trimmed it to be even, and then I attached it here to the top of the plaque with some hot glue. Then I attached a little wooden heart that I got from a set from the Target Bullseye's Playground. I think it was actually a Christmas set that I got last year. But of course, if you're doing this, you can add any embellishment that you want. And here is my finished plaque. I really love how it turned out. I made it in honor of my dear husband, David Sindelar, who I feel surrounds me with his boundless love. For this DIY, I started by taking 8 tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree and painting them white with white Waverly chalk paint from Walmart. The plaque that you see behind there was one that I was going to use for this project, and then I found a better plaque that I'd forgotten that I bought for this. And so I cut out the footage of me painting that plaque so I could show you the plaque that I ended up ultimately using. here is the sign that I ended up using. It's a cute little sign that I got for only about 97 cents at Walmart. So here you see me painting it white with Waverly chalk paint. For the letters, I needed to make some cardboard templates. So what I did, which you don't see here on camera, is that I put the little tumbling tower blocks onto the plaque, and to make the border around the plaque, and then I measured the space inside the border, and that's what I cut out of a piece of poster board. And then I marked some lines on the top and the bottom to make the kind of guidelines for the letters. I did the O with a little bottle cap, you can see there. And then the rest of the letters I just basically, they were pretty simple to make. I just basically made it with a pencil and a ruler. I couldn't find a good thing to do the inside of the O with, so I just kind of free-handed that. Once I had my letters all drawn out, then I just cut them out with a pair of scissors. For the letters, I used black Play-Doh. I happen to have this black Play-Doh because I ordered something from Amazon, don't remember what it was, and they sent me a box of different colors of Play-Doh by mistake. I got my money back, but I never actually returned the Play-Doh, so I still had it sitting around. You could probably get a little thing of Play-Doh for cheap at Walmart for 50 cents, or you could use whatever clay that you can find at Dollar Tree and just paint it after you make the letters. Here you see that I had a little trouble at first making the letters. I rolled the clay out, and at first I tried just pressing the templates down on there, but I found that they stuck to the clay way too much. So I had to just set them on there like very lightly, and then I used a craft knife to cut out the letters. And I also used the bottle cap as a kind of cookie cutter to cut out the O. I included with the L, the O, the V, and the E just a tiny little square to go under the O, like it was on the inspiration piece. After the paint was dry on my sign and on my blocks, I used some Elephant Waverly chalk paint and just a nice dry brush technique. I just brushed an almost dry brush over all the blocks and on the sign to give it a worn, kind of weathered vintage look. Once my clay letters were completely dry, it was time to assemble the finished sign. First of all, I took the tumbling tower blocks and I glued them around the edges of the sign to make a kind of a frame using hot glue, and then I just took more hot glue and glued all the letters down. Once the letters were all glued down, then my sign was complete. And here is the finished sign. I think it actually has more character than the inspiration piece that it was based on. I started with this heart-shaped Happy Valentine's Day sign that I got at Dollar Tree. I like this sign because it has this kind of swoosh thing in the middle that's made out of burlap. I used Waverly chalk paint in white, and I painted pretty much the whole sign with it. As you can see, the sign has an actual kind of genuine shiplap feel with actual real grooves in between the boards, so that looked nice. On the burlap part, I mainly just focused on putting some blobs of paint that would cover up where it says Happy Valentine's Day. And for the rest of it, I just kind of lightly brushed the paint on so that you could still see the burlap texture. Once the paint was dry, I used my black Posca pen to create a buffalo check pattern on the base heart. Though I used a Posca pen, you could also use the big, chunky black fake Sharpie that you can get at Dollar Tree. I started by making, using my ruler, making horizontal and vertical lines to create a kind of crisscross pattern. I used the ruler as a guide for how thick to make the lines. Then I started making the buffalo check, and that basically just involves, first of all, going every other row, making every other square black. So you see me doing that there. And then once that was done, I would go basically in the squares that are above and below, to the left and to the right of each black square, and I made diagonal lines to give it a kind of a woven grayed out effect. I started by using my ruler, and then I kind of abandoned that because it just got to be kind of too hard. I couldn't lay the ruler really flat because of the burlap area in the center. But you see how I'm just filling in those squares. It's the ones that are at the top and the bottom, and to the left and to the right of the black squares. And then I just kept repeating that, and I eventually had a nice buffalo check pattern all over the heart. Then I took the wooden word hope, which I had gotten at the Dollar Tree, and I used some apple butter color paint in the color apple red, and I just painted that whole word red, including the edges on both the inside and the outside. Then I took my red Posca pen and just kind of eyeballing it here, I made a red border around the heart. Now in this case, I wouldn't recommend substituting another kind of pen for this, because the Posca pen is nice and opaque and it went right over the black. I guess you could use another brand of paint marker if you wanted to, but you have to use a paint marker in order for it to be nice and opaque like this. Then I took my black Posca pen and I just put some nice little dotted lines which kind of look like stitches on the word hope. And I also put them all the way around the border. Now once I was done doing that, then it was time to get my hot glue gun out and start assembling things. First of all, I glued the word hope to the center of the heart. Then I took this wonderful metal bow that I had gotten from Target's Both Sides Playground during the Christmas season, and I hot glued that to the bottom of the heart. Then I had these really wonderful, awesome stickers. They're three-dimensional that I got at Dollar Tree, and they have a hope theme. I picked out one of them that says, "There is always hope," and stuck that right in the middle of the top of the heart. The last thing to do was to add a hanger to the heart. This had originally had a ribbon hanger, and I pulled that off before I painted it. And when it was done, I decided I wanted to just make a hanger out of jute twine. So here you see me poking it through one of the holes, tying a double knot in the back, and then I did the same thing with the other end of the piece of jute twine, tied another double knot, and then I had my hanger. And here's the finished sign. You can see there there is hope sticker right there in the middle there. I've hung it on my office door to give my clients the reminder that there is always hope. I started with a red love sign that had one of those cute little metal hearts on there that I got from the Dollar Tree. You can also find this in white. It doesn't matter which kind you get since you're going to paint it. I first removed the heart by prying a flathead screwdriver underneath it and then just pulling it off with my hands. I set it aside because I'm going to be using it in my fifth love DIY. Then I just painted the whole sign with black Weathery chalk paint. You might see there that there's a little bit of a place in the middle there where the heart was, where the top layer of the chipboard got kind of pulled off, and it looks kind of bad. But don't worry about that because you're going to be putting a piece of ribbon over that, and that will cover it. Then I took this cute wall decor piece that I got at Dollar Tree, that consists of 5 scalloped hearts. First of all, I pulled the hearts off the ribbon. I found out that they were just attached with pieces of tape. So all I had to do was basically pull on the ribbon, and that pulled them off, and then I needed to just take my hands and my fingernails and scrape off the remaining bits of the pieces of tape. I only used 4 of the hearts for this, so of course I'm going to be saving the other one for some other future project. I took 2 of the hearts and painted them white with Waverly chalk paint, and then I took the other 2 hearts and painted them black. Then I took this set of poster stickers that I got at Dollar Tree, and I painted the O and the E, which are going to go on the black hearts, white with white Waverly chalk paint. This is easy to do because you don't even have to stay in the lines, because when you peel them off the backing, obviously any overflow will stay on the backing. I thank other YouTube crafters for this little hack. It meant that I had white letters to go on my black hearts, and then of course I had black letters to go on my white hearts. Once the paint was dry on both the hearts and the letters, then it was time to apply the letter stickers to the hearts. So we've got a black L on a white heart, a white O on a black heart, a black V on a white heart, and a white E to go on a black heart. Then I felt like the hearts kind of needed something, so I just took my Posca pens and I made little dots around the scallop part of the border of the hearts, using black on the white hearts and white on the black hearts. I really liked how this made the hearts look. They gave them almost kind of a lacy look. Then it was time to assemble the sign. I first used this wide burlap ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree that has lace going down the center. I cut a piece so it's a little bit longer than the sign, and I fishtailed the end, and then I just put 2 long lines of hot glue down the center of the sign to glue the ribbon down to the center. That covered up that area that looked kind of bad on there, as you can see. Then all I needed to do was to hot glue my 4 hearts that spell out love onto the middle of the sign. I started at the bottom so that I could easily kind of figure out how to space them apart. And then at the top I decided I wanted to put a little bow. So again I used the black and white check ribbon that I got at the Dollar Tree. And I made a simple little bow like you would make to tie your shoes. And then it was just a matter of gluing that bow onto the top heart. And that added the little touch that I was looking for. Then all that remained to do was to add a hanger. At first I was thinking that I wouldn't be able to do this because the top heart covered up the 2 little holes, but then when I looked carefully I saw that since the heart is on top of the ribbon, there was just a little bit of space between the heart and the backing board. And so that allowed me to then just take a piece of jute and thread it through the holes and do the same kind of double knot technique that I had done with the heart sign. And that worked just great to make a hanger. And here's the finished sign. I think this would be a really nice Valentine's Day decor piece if you're the sort of person that just has like blacks and whites and neutrals in your house rather than a lot of bright colors. I started with this set of stylish glitter hearts from the Dollar Tree. It was a set that had 1 big heart, 2 medium-sized hearts, and 2 small hearts in it. And they came in both pink and red. Doesn't matter which color that you use because you're going to be spray painting them. As you see here, I took the large heart and I spray painted it gray. Then I took the medium-sized heart and I spray painted it black. And then I took a small heart and I spray painted it white. Once the paint was dry, then it was time to distress the hearts. I used a special tool for this. As you see here, this is a little paint roller that has little rectangular shaped bumps on it. I got it at Dollar Tree. It's in the kids craft section, and it comes with its own little paint tray. So what I did with that was first I used mineral Waverly chalk paint, and did some of that, and then I did some elephant Waverly chalk paint, and then finally I ended up with white Waverly chalk paint. I just applied the paint in the tray, didn't clean the roller between, because it doesn't matter if some of the paint mixes, because you're just trying for a kind of abstract pattern here, not something that looks perfect and beautiful. Then I took my silver Posca pen and I just made a very thin silver border around each one of the hearts in order to kind of increase their kind of metallic look. You could probably use any sort of metallic silver marker for this. In fact, I kind of wish that the Posca was a little bit brighter silver than it was. I've previously gotten some metallic markers at Dollar Tree that I thought did a better job with that. For a final touch, I cut just a short piece of the wide burlap ribbon with the lace on it that I got from Dollar Tree, and I fishtailed one of the edges, and then I just used my black Posca pen to write the word love in cursive writing. Then it was time to assemble the piece. I used as the base what you might call a slatted window cover that I got from the Target Bullseye's Playground for $5. It's not actually designed to be a real window cover, but more just the base of an art piece, because it has a hanger on the back. So first I glued down all three of the hearts. Then I glued down the little corrugated metal heart that I got off of the love sign from the previous DIY, and then I glued down my little ribbon with the word love on it. Unfortunately, while I was struggling with the glue gun, I got some blobs of glue onto the board, and once they were cool, I couldn't really remove them. So I decided I would take some more of these little wooden hearts from my little Target set and kind of glue them over those areas to kind of pull the eye away from the fact that there was kind of blobs of glue there. I also used my Posca pen here, as you can see, to put some little dots on them just to embellish them a little more. You can add whatever embellishments you want if you decide to reproduce this sign. And here is the finished piece. I think it turned out really unusual and unique, which to me is a good thing.